Welcome. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad to see you.
Me too.
And so it's quite a journey, this adventure on earth, having a body and being a soul, being a spirit. But what does that mean, you know? And so here we are, we all have this God spark within us. And so you could say the spirit is like the spark, right? This divine. But then the spark has a protection, it has a cloak, right? That's the soul. The soul is like the wrapping that protects this light. And from within the soul, when this light is illumined and we see clearly, it's like we're seeing through all the qualities of the soul, right? And so there's all this beauty here. But now we come, the soul, this spark and this soul comes into a body, into a form. And this form is a much denser matter. And the form brings it the DNA, and the DNA has the story of all of our ancestors. And the DNA is the stuff that's made of all the elements of the world and of the universe. And with this DNA comes the story, comes history. And so not only do we bring biological history in relationship with the soul, right? Then we grow up, the fusion of all of this in an environment with our families and however we grew up. And that pattern embeds in the body as well. Now, who am I? What am I? Right? It's so confusing. And so we have ecstatic moments of self-recognition, right? And then we have this dread and the depression and the despair that goes on in a lot of our lives. The secret here, if it's not illumined by the light, it's not the full self, right? So we're looking through a lens of a lot of densities, a lot of filters, a lot of obscurations. And so in this work, we come into the class with an issue, with a question, something we want to explore, right? And we drop through first the story, then we go into the sensation, and through this we eventually drop to that place in between. And that place in between is where we meet our soul. And so the reason I call this terrain of essence, it's like we have this whole terrain that we get to visit here. At one end of the spectrum, the essence, if it's filtered through automatic responses of our history, right? That's going to be denser energies. As the essences become more refined, it's going to be illumined. It'll be the alignment of our soul. And the illumination is that starlight, you know, the spark showing through the soul. Now we're getting to see our true self, who we really are. Now personality has a direct experience of who I am, what I am, with, you know, the distortion. So the ego learns to grow up here. It learns to show up more and more, to be more and more in service to who we truly are. But it's not as easy as it sounds. There can be some struggle along the way. So thank you for being here, and let's play. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, who would like to explore?
Well, it's interesting that you talk about the divine spark. It's been what's been up for me all day long, and I can't believe it. That's what you're talking about. It feels like I've been on this journey of uncovering some sense of self, a deeper and deeper sense of self, and then it finally came back to that's you. And it's like I've been illumined from self, and it says now find that in you. And I'm having to let go of that bigger thing and pick up this smaller, tiny little spark out of the bright light, that little spark that is still me, that feels separate and depressed and attacked. And
So where do you sense that when you share?
in the heart.
Okay. And the sensation?
So it's kind of vibrating terror, kind of fear. Right in.
And so there's a feeling that feels scary. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of fear.
And where is the one that's watching this? Where's the observer in all of this?
And then I get this split.
Right.
There's two observers, and
Okay.
one of them's scared and the other one just doesn't matter. Or I don't know what.
It's inconsequential.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What about size? What about movement, momentum? Is one large, small? Are they equal?
One just feels more like a beingness that has no size, no location, no nothing. And then the other one feels it's just constantly changing, moving around, hiding, peeking out.
So let's bring that larger awareness. And so you're seeing the little one running and hiding. Why hide? What's good about hiding here?
Oh, well, you get to be special. You.
Say more about that.
It's so good at hiding. It knows that if it gets seen in this light, it's gone.
So let it hide. Where does it want to go here?
Seems like it's burrowing into the spine.
Okay. Any particular area of the spine?
Right. Right in the middle. Right about in the middle of the... It's getting all tight in the belly. So I'm just following it in there.
and the tightness.
So right into the center here. And the spine right behind here.
And what is it like in there? What's there? Look at the environment. Let it look around. Where's this place inside of here? From in here.
Like a gateway. It's like, it feels like it's trying to open,
Okay.
pulsing, bringing something up from here and pushing out here. Now it's coming in from all over.
Okay.
It's all coming in, trying to
Come through.
come through.
And the sense of this. Just letting go to it. No effort.
I relax the openness and let it come back down into whatever this is. This other attention starts fighting and pull
When
it
you
back and forth.
relax.
Yeah, when I go from that viewpoint of peace to this one of conflict, that conflicted observer and doubt, and then
So what is it avoiding? What does it get to avoid by staying entangled with the conflict?
the light itself.
So what is it really afraid of?
Being replaced by the light.
Yet a moment ago, when the light was coming through, right? When everything was coming and opening more, how was that?
Well, it's very peaceful.
And it's still here,
It's still here.
right? So, all together here, got to experience the light. And then the little one says, no, I'm not safe. And yet it's still here, right? What happens if it turns toward the light? The truth is it's not annihilated, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gets to join, right? How is it here for all of it to be here? That little one and the light.
It wants to be the light.
Let him be on fire in this light. So there's no separation.
It just feels like everything's dissolving. Boundaries dissolving, that there's no need to be separate from any of it,
Mhm. How is it to be here?
Really strange, less conflicted, less like there were definitely things about me that needed to change, that it just seems okay now, that
The past, as a child, it wasn't safe. He really did need to hide, right? And when he was
Sure.
in his light, scary things happened, right?
yeah,
Takes so much courage to sense through all of this consolidated energy, right? There's just so much force, so much momentum. But right here, as you came all the way through, there is no conflict. It's so simple,
yeah, that's how it feels. It feels simple.
right?
Yeah,
And so if someone's making up conflict from this place, right, it doesn't stick. There's no effect.
right.
So now
So,
begins the next part of our practice. Right? Is as we really smooth through this and become this more and more than any glitches where we get hooked. I mean, that's reactionary. That's our unconscious reacting, right? That automatic response. That's the pattern. But the more we have this real experience of self, right? We get to see that the other, it's no longer true. Historically it was true, but now it's not true. And we have to keep reminding ourselves to return back home to where I am, right?
yeah,
And sometimes it
Yeah.
feels like we're riding a Brahma bull, you know, with the charge, you know, just holding on with that force. The key is really stand in the light. Be home.
be home.
Wherever I am, I'm home. Wherever you are, you're home. It's not a place or thing. To really land in this orientation of self. So, then the next question is, what does it take to have you? More and more, to have yourself, right? To welcome, you know, to feel this containment, right? To feel this wholeness. So, does it take remembering? Does it take stopping and dropping in? You know,
It's just like just letting myself be drawn in to what's just already there.
So allowing yourself.
To not interfere.
Yes. Woo! Amen to that. Yeah. Beautiful. Say that again.
Allowing myself to not interfere.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was good to say it again.
Yeah. And to feel it all the way through,
Yeah, I felt it just go whoosh right through, just a whoosh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.